So, I've been playing the latest martial artist 3D beat 'em up game, Shifu, and I love this game. It's surprising to me how good of a game this is, because I didn't have like insanely low doubts for this game, but I was surprised by how good and how addicted this game really came for me. It is possibly one of my favorite games of the year so far, and I think we're gonna have a great year for the rest of 2022. So let's get into it. This game's story is very simple, beginning with the murder of your father and martial artist master. He gets killed by his student and his allies one night, and then 8 years pass, and then you, whether you play as a boy or a girl, basically go on a journey to kill all those who were involved with his death. There's 5 levels in the game. It's a very simple narrative. There's not that much dialogue in here. It relies really on the visual storytelling and the environments, and then the antagonists that you face. And I think that's very good. The game doesn't try to be all unique about revenge and all that stuff. It just focuses on what its core elements is, exemplifies, expands on them to the best potential possible. The story, like I said, doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't drag itself out. It's very simplified. It has a satisfying ending, mostly because there's 2 endings in the game, which is very cool to have 2 endings in this game, and a secret ending after the credits if you do the second ending. There's always a great amount of content in the story here that doesn't overstay its welcome, so thank God for that. Visual looks really good. It plays smoothly with a smooth frame rate, never drops at all, and it also has a great visual look to it. The art style, whereas the environments, it really is smooth. It feels simplified, but it uses those simple components for its visuals. Also, the animations in this game are very smooth as well, which helps a lot because they had a martial artist come in and do a lot of the animation, recorded him in motion capture dots and all that stuff. It looks just very unique and it's very smooth. It has no janky edges to any of the visuals or the animations here. It just plays very well. Now, the best thing in Shifu is its combat system, gameplay. It is such a great breeze, unique and kinetic fighting experience in this game. Holy crap, there's so much stuff here. Even though it's a very simple type of combat, you have your light attacks, your heavy attacks, you have your guards, you have your little shift or dodge or type of run mechanic. You can pick up items around you, so you can pick up like bats, sticks, staffs, knives even, and you can use them as like weapons to help get your range and to do more damage on your opponents. And there's all those elements in there in this game, and it works and collides so well because it's simple and effective. The only real problem with the gameplay system and its combat is the camera. That's really the only real flaw I have with the combat. Everything else that may seem like a flaw at first kind of goes away because you understand the system and its mechanics very well. The camera, when you get close into tight areas or corners, it will basically just ruin your experience because you won't be able to see your character, and that'll lead to opponents hitting you multiple times. And the AI is aggressive, so if a bunch of them are like right next to you and you're in a corner, you're just gonna die because they will just pound you like crazy. They will just knock you out and they'll defeat you like that, and it's so sudden and it'll feel cheap at first, but it's really the camera that's the problem here. I mean, when it comes to the system of combat or its tactics of how opponents fight you, it's all fair. It just takes a while to get used to. Another thing I want to talk about is there's this dodge system where you hold L1, you move the analog stick up or down, where you dodge light, you dodge low and high attacks. The thing is though, at first I didn't get it because it was kind of inverted. So if you click L1, hold L1, and you aim the stick upward, you dodge low attacks. And if you click hold L1 and aim the stick downwards, you dodge high attacks. It took me a while to get used to, but other than that, everything else in the gameplay is fun. The death mechanic that has like a roguelike element to it. So let me talk about that real quickly. In the game, you have this medallion that basically resurrects you every single time you fall in battle. The thing is, every single time you fall and you come back, you basically are losing your age. You're losing your time in life. So you start the game as 20, and if you die, that's 1 year, so you basically become 21. But then if you die again, that's 2 years, you become 23. After that, it's 26, 30, 35. It just goes on from there. Now you can reset your death counter at certain shrines, which is basically like an upgrade system, but it requires a lot of XP. So you gotta be careful how much you use, because you can't, because it requires a lot of points, and you don't get too much points in the game. You gotta kind of choose your upgrades importantly. And also helps is that what also makes it kind of challenging is that your XP, it can be used either for your upgrade skills or you can use it for the shrines. And there's 3 types of systems you can use for your shrines. You have your age upgrades, you have your level score upgrades, so that's basically how well you're doing in the game, in the levels, and then you have your standard XP. And now there's like 3 different shrine abilities upgrades you get there. But the thing is, you can't upgrade one of each. You're going to choose only one thing to upgrade. And there's not that many shrines in these levels. Maybe like, well, there might be, I think there's like 15 right there. But you can't upgrade every single thing because you can take a certain upgrade, like you can get health back doing takedowns. You can upgrade that 3 times, but you can't like get like every single thing 100% upgrade. I mean, in my playthroughs at least. But it overall is a really well done system when it comes to upgrades. The skills was weird at first because to really unlock a skill, you have to unlock it 6 times. The first time you basically can get to use it, but to permanently unlock it when you replay the game and you go through it over and over again, you have to unlock it 6 times. So let's say it's a skill that requires 500 XP. You basically have to use 3,000 experience points just to get that skill. And then and if these skills are much more higher level costings, like let's say a skill that costs 1,500, you'll basically need 6 times of that XP points. So it takes a while to get used to because you don't get these permanently in the first try. It kind of requires you to keep going at it over and over again. But like I said, this never was a problem for me. I kind of got used to this type of system real quickly. No faults, no issues there. It all went really well done for me. I mean, there's also the structure system, which is basically your blocking your shield center. And every single time you get hit when you're blocking, it builds up. But if you gotta find ways to kind of not let it build up too much. So that means you can avoid attacks by dodging high or low attacks. You can do parries or deflects. So the moment someone hits you, you click the L1 button, you basically deflect, which gives you enough, which lowers your structure down. Because if you let it build too much and an opponent hits you, they break your structure, and that leaves you open for strong hits. And your enemies will hit you hard. Like I said before, they're aggressive, they're smart, and you can't really like go crazy with the comments. You can't just mash the square button, the triangle button in the game, because they will learn from that, and then they will block, and then they can parry as well, and that will leave you wide open. So you got to be careful on how you go approaching situations. You got to be smart. You got to look at your environments and realize, oh, there's like this area in the second level. There's 2 planes of environments. There's a staircase you can go up, and then you can basically parry your enemies and throw them off, knocking them out, basically taking out a good amount of opponents so that you can focus on just a few there. Focus on like the sub bosses or the mini bosses, because the mini bosses are a pain in the ass and they're very powerful, and you can't take them out with simple attacks. You gotta be smart. You gotta parry, you gotta dodge their super strong attacks that leave them open, so you gotta be careful with that. And of course there's the boss battle, and they are very fun. I mean, yes, they're kind of annoying at times. I mean, when I remember playing my first playthrough, I lost so many times when it came to levels. You know, the second level, I had to restart it multiple times. The third one, the same. The fifth one, oh god, that was a nightmare. But I got through it. You learn from their tactics. And the thing about every boss is that you need to use every skill you learned through the game. So parries, deflects, dodges, you know, you gotta be careful with that because you gotta learn to use everything. Always using tactics, always doing charge back, going close up and calling attacks. It also helps use those deflects and parries a lot, because if you don't use them, you're basically leaving yourself to get killed, and you're gonna end the game as an old man. I actually got to the game after my second playthrough. I got to age 25, when I spared all the bosses. Because the thing about I forgot to mention with the age mechanic, the game, you can age up until your 70s, and then after that, you gotta restart the level if you die again. So there's no like, there's checkpoints. There's no checkpoints in this game. It's just levels, every level. So if you die at the end of a level, and you're at 70 and you're done, you gotta restart that level all over. However, what's fine about the levels is that there's all these secret like information that connects to each level. So there's like levels, like say the fourth level that has like a computer, but you can't get into that computer yet, but you do know its existence. And if you go to the second level, there's a guy on the top plane of the building. You can talk to him. You can say, I need information on how to break this computer, and he'll give you that information, and you can get another piece of information that basically leads to a shortcut to another level. So it's like this is a detective board that you can play, that you experience throughout the game through all these collectibles that basically gives you information that connects to every single location. And that's kind of awesome. It makes the like looking for this stuff, like going off of the beaten path to look around, very rewarding because it helps a lot. Like there is a secret, a collectible in the game. After you defeat the third level, you can basically just go straight to the boss. No joke. After you beat up the first few guys, you take the elevator to the third level's boss, and you can just instantly fight them. You don't gotta deal with the gauntlet sequences, because the third level does have kind of a gauntlet sequence that goes along a while. But what I like about these levels is that they never overstay their welcome. You know, every level has a unique variety of opponents and environments and locations. It's just overall very satisfying. And it's a very satisfying experience to behold. From the collectible hunting to the alternative ending to just the overall sense of the game and how satisfying it is. I play the game for 24 hours as of right now, and I'm doing a second playthrough as my female counterpart. And I love just how better I have been now than when I started. Because when I was starting, I just kind of did the same moves over and over. 3 punches and then like a firm push kick all the time in my first playthrough. Now I'm trying different tactics, meaning strikes. I do sweep kicks. I do all these type of tactics, or eye strikes or cowbitch, which is like this adorable move where you act like you're gonna hit someone and you smack them on the head. There's all these cool little things that you can do in the game. It's very satisfying as someone who's going through this experience. It's kind of like when you play Dark Souls, like the Dark Souls game, anything from From Software. After you beat a boss, you feel so satisfied with yourself that it's like you become better as you are now than what you were when you started. And that's what a good game like this should do, a rogue game, is that when you beat the game and when you want to go at it again, you feel accomplished, you feel better than you did before. And that is a very fine line with those types of games. And this game, it does a very good job. Like, this game should be talked about for that, you know? It's not a big budget game, it's a very small budget, it's like $40, but it's really overall a very well spent type of money. And I think the combat system in this game is glorious. So overall, Sifu is an amazing overall gaming experience. It's a great roguelike game that you can check out. It's just up there with other ones like Hollow Knight, I believe, Mortal Shell, Dark Souls, anything that feels like a roguelike experience. It's another great addition to that type of genre. And what's also just great about it is that it's basically a 3D beat-em-up brawler that has the aesthetic of the genres I love, which is old school action movies, Hong Kong style, you know, Drunken Master 2, Ip Man, Rumble in the Bronx, anything with Jackie Chan in it, and even those older films back in the day. Those types of films aesthetic is my favorite type of stuff, and Sifu does a great job bringing it over for a modern game, a 3D beat 'em up brawler. It's outstanding. I'm looking forward to the post-launch content that Slow Clap has prepared to do. They said they're going to be bringing new difficulty modes. Deluxe Edition owners will be getting a special skin due to the fact that there was like a glitch when Deluxe Edition owners couldn't download the game. So I'm looking forward to see what Slow Clap does with this. I know they're not going to plan on doing multiplayer through it, which I think is fine. I mean, their last game was multiplayer, Absolver. But I like to see that they are trying to do different things here. I want to know what type of products they're bringing. I mean, I believe as of a few days from now, they're going to be adding a voice pack for Chinese voiceovers. So that's very cool that they're adding nice support to their game. And even though it's a small studio, they're doing that and they're being very proficient. Now, if you want to buy this game is on PlayStation consoles, so PS4, PS5, and it's on PCs. So if you want to check it out, go ahead. And I would really recommend that you guys buy and very enjoy the experience that is Sifu. And I would give this game a solid 9.5 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching this video this long. It's nice to be finally doing a video again after such a long time. I hope you guys are looking forward to my schedule. I'm going to be doing at least 2 videos a month since I'm occupied sometimes, but I want to do as much as I can to bring content to this channel. But if you want to hear me talk, there is a podcast that I'm on called The Inner Circle. I do it with my brother, and we basically talk about anything we love. So video games, these TV shows, manga, anime, anything that we have a love for, we just talk about it there. We talk about films that we see. We saw Uncharted recently, we saw Jackass Forever, we saw basically any movie that was out during the time. The Green Knight, Suicide Squad. We talk about certain TV shows that we love. We talk about certain animes we love. We basically talk about anything, and we hope you guys can check it out. It's on Apple Podcasts, on Amazon Music, it's on Google Podcasts, on Spotify. Anywhere you get your podcast fix, we are there. So make sure to check us out. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter to see any Twitter updates or posts I do, you can always check me out there. Other than that, guys, until next time.